Welcome to Kung Fu Havoc number 2. I'm going to apologize to you now. This is my 19th attempt at making this video. I've had to delete this damn thing so many times, not because of choice, but because of other people's voices. Okay? So, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry I'm going to offend you. I'm sorry I'm going to hurt your feelings. I'm sorry I'm going to make you mad. I'm sorry that I'm going to give you 99.9% of the truth as I see it. And I'm sorry if we don't see eye to eye on this. I'm hoping that I do not lose anyone. I'm hoping that I do this as respectfully as possible. And if any means that I disrespect anybody, I'm sorry for that too. It is not intentional. It is my take. And it will be offensive. So this is why I'm apologizing before I remotely get anywhere close to making this video. And the main reason is because I love my 215 people here. I would never want to offend anybody. Just to give you knowledge of what you need versus what I think you need. Because what I think you need is not relevant. Because I don't think anybody needs anything other than the truth. I mean, the truth hurts, but you get that shit out the way. So I'm going to give you 99.9. And FYI, I could definitely be wrong. So I'm sorry if I'm wrong. But I got this thing off my TikTok FYP. I'm not going to show it because I may have misinterpreted it. But I've already made like 9 videos about that. And nobody from the military came at me yet. So hopefully I did the right thing. Hopefully I worded it correctly. Hopefully I didn't offend anybody. And hopefully I won't offend you. But I'm trying not to have to draw a line in the sand because I'm not above learning shit. I'm not above learning. I might be against some of the shit I gotta learn, but I'm not above learning. But at that same time, time takes time. And things of this nature also takes time. But at the same time, there has to be a line drawn somewhere in the sand where either you get it or you don't. But even if you don't, you can still accept other people's rights. Alright? Now, let's get on with it. So, my FYP, this thing came across about some Marines. I'm Army National Guard. I am a veteran. Whew, here we go. In the video on the FYP, there were some recruits. I believe they were recruits. Not liking that they are addressed as male or female Marines. Because they wanted to be addressed by their pronouns or whatever. And this is where the pronoun thing goes from here to where it's at an understandable level, which I don't get because I'm still way down here and it's not my job to know your pronouns. It's just my job to respect you, even when I get it wrong. But then they're trying to go from here to way up here. If you have not served in the military, this video is for you. If you have served in the military, you already know where I'm at. And ain't no need for anybody that's a service person to agree or disagree. But I'm probably going to get more people who agree with me than disagree. All right? You have a ranking structure in your chain of command. All right? Your gender conformity is not a part of that ranking structure. All right? Most of the people with gold bars, captains, lieutenants, warrant officers, and shit like that, or butter bars, you will address them gender correctly as sir or ma'am. You will correct them, or you will address them as yes sir if it's male, yes ma'am if it's a female. Period. If you are a recruit, they do not give a flying fuck about your fucking pronouns. They have a bag of fucks to give, and they'll give them all to you. They don't give a fuck. When you come in there, if you were a male, up until last year or the last 8 months, everyone, except for certain tribal members, had shaved their hair. As of recently, now all natives don't have to shave their hair when they join the military. No high tights, no bald-headed shit like my cat card, which is over there somewhere. Be right back. Yes, that's America's ass. So that I don't get accused of stolen valor. Okay? Yeah, that's me. Looking like Aang the Avatar from Nickelodeon. You don't know how many times I've gotten that. Now, with my Geneva Convention and all that shit. When you sign up for the military, regardless of you are an Army soldier, a Marine, a Navy sailor, an Air Force airman, I do not know what they call Coast Guard, and I do not know what they call SpaceX. Let's hope I do not have to refer to this again, but I probably will. You are whatever branch you come in. I'm Army. I was Private Williams. That's it. I was E1. That means I'm a fuzzy. No chevrons. Then you have E2 and E3. Then you have E4, which basically means specialist. There's a chain of command. And when you have a conversation with your drill sergeant, you start off with, Drill Sergeant, may I have permission to speak freely, Drill Sergeant? When you are addressing a captain, first and foremost, until he says parade rest, you are standing in attention. You are standing in complete attention. Shoulders up, chest out, hands at the wrist, down here. Your hands are not clenched. They're in a relaxed position. And as you address him, you step one step, you salute. You after he salutes you, relieves you, you put that down, and you get back into attention. Now, if he says parade rest, you spread your legs back across and you put your hands behind your back in this position. Now, 2010 was a long time ago, so things may have changed. Chain of command never changes. How they address you will most likely not change. My drill sergeants call me a bitch every day. It's an acronym. Brave, Infantry, Tactical, Combat, Hero. They call me a dick every day. Dedicated Infantry, Combat, Killer. Now, fuck sticks, I have no idea what that acronym is, but we were fuck sticks too. And these are just small things. When we had to ask questions, it was always drill sergeant, then the question, and then drill sergeant. When you got to NCOs, the cadre officers, cadre officer, may I speak freely, whatever the ranking is, that's what you did. If that cadre officer was male or female, you still called them cadre officer. And if they said, call me such and such, you followed that particular command. You didn't ask them if they identified as the kitchen cabinet or a cat. You did what the fuck you were told. You addressed them the way they teach you in processing. Let me make sure you understand this. Before you go down range, and even when you go down range, you will take classes. My first 2 weeks at Fort Benning, we sat in a classroom. 2 weeks, 8 hours. First 5 hours, after chow. Then another, after that, then we had lunch chow. And then we go back to that classroom until dinner chow. After dinner chow, we went upstairs. We showered. We went the fuck to sleep unless you had fire guard. Rinse and repeat. 2 weeks. When we got down range, guess what? 2 more weeks of class. Teaching you how to address your drill sergeants. Teaching you how to address your cadre. Teaching you how to address your senior officers. You know what else they taught you? They taught you about sexual harassment. They taught you about rape. They taught you about why you have to have a battle buddy. Now, how much of this they actually follow is a different ballgame. But this is boot camp. And boot camp, they follow that shit to the letter. Now, when you get in service, that's when shit get a little bit laxed. Alright? A little bit laxed. I didn't make it that far. I got injured in BC. So, I'm still legally a vet. I served active duty 5 months in training. That's it. I got all the training and all the skills on how to unalive people. Because I was infantry. My MOS was 11 Bravo. Period. My DD-214 is in that dresser behind me. It used to be kept in the closet. Anyhow. Now, let me make something abundantly clear. Abundantly clear. You are, whatever branch you're in, if you're in the Army, you're a soldier. If you're a regular Army, you're a soldier. If you're a National Guard, you're a soldier. You're just a nasty girl. I was a nasty girl. Now, if you are in Ranger school, you're a Ranger. If you're in SF school, you're an SF soldier. All right, that means Special Forces. Ranger means you're a Ranger. Not a Power Ranger, but a Ranger. Not a Texas Ranger, but still a Ranger. All right? Now, if you're a Marine, I don't know the ranking structure. I'm pretty sure it's the same, but you're a fucking Marine. You don't get any special titles or any of that shit. If you're a Navy, unless you're a Navy SEAL, because then you are a SEAL. But if you are Navy, you are a sailor. That's it. You're a sailor. If you're an Air Force person, if you're an Air Force airman, you are an airman. If you're Air National Guard, you're an Air Force National Guard, which means you're an Air Nasty Girl. I think they still go by Nasty Girl too, but I gotta swear to it. Again, 2010 was a long motherfucking time ago. Now, I understand this shit. I do not know what the fuck they call Coast Guard. I do not know what the fuck they're gonna call Space Force. But I do know this. When they address you as a private, regardless of whatever branch you serve, they are addressing a uniform. They are not addressing your gender. They don't give a fuck. You will not be doing any sexually nothing on those damn ramps at BC. If you so much as look at a female guard, a female soldier of anything outside of her eyes, you're probably going to get smoked. I know this firsthand. Thank you, my bro at arms that day, Private Cruz, who had stress fractures, who was 23, 22 years old. I'm 37. I had a knee issue, and I actually wound up being my hip instead of my knee before Benning dropped the ball. But we're not going to go there because it's irrelevant. Private Cruz apparently looked at this female officer, and he couldn't stand up, but I stood up when we acknowledged them when they came on the breezeway. So, got up in attention. He let me go back down, and he asked why that guy couldn't stand up. I said he's on serious restriction from sick call, sir. Drill sergeant. And then he's like, okay. Now, when he came back through with a female. I jumped up, never noticed the female. He said, look, when I come back through here, y'all don't get up because y'all doing guard duty. I didn't know that. And that was the second time he went through, before the female. My mistake. I misspoke. When he came through that third time, he had a female officer with him, and he had already told us that we don't need to get back up because we're on injury. He read our profile. He's like, well, you got a knee problem, so you shouldn't be jumping back up every time we come through here, so don't get up. Say, unless a captain shows up, you keep your ass in that chair. I was like, roger that. So then, when he came back through with the female, we acknowledged him. I acknowledged him, but I'm steadily journaling because I had some mental issues, and the chaplain told me that I need to journal 3 times a day, every day. Before I go to bed, after chow, and if I'm on guard duty. So 9 times out of 10, I only journal 1 time a day unless I was on guard duty. When I drew guard duty, because I had my profile, then I had to journal all the time. So apparently, Private Cruz looked at this female officer like he eyeballed her all the way up and down. And the drill sergeant started yelling at us. And he said, what are you looking at, boy? What are you eyeballing? I said, drill sergeant, I'm journaling. I wasn't talking to you. I was talking to glasses here. Because Cruz had to wear his glasses all the time. I only needed my BCGs for downrange shooting and shit. But I didn't need them as bad as they were. I found out that I need them when it came to trying to qualify. But my shit got stolen. Anyway, didn't it, Drill Sergeant White? Yeah, you know that shit got stolen, motherfucker. Anyway, I still love you, Drill Sergeant White. Not so much Drill Sergeant Stoltz. Damn sure love Drill Sergeant Robbins. But anyway, so the drill sergeant decided that I was going to do his push-ups because he couldn't. So I got smoked. And after I got smoked, I looked at that female officer's ass too. Because apparently, she was built. She was very well put together. She was very pretty here. Latin woman. Very nice boobs. I'd say she probably had a B cup. And a nice backside to match. Worth it. Thank you, Cruz. I know I did about 50 or 60 push-ups. And I ain't talking about straight up and straight down. I'm talking about 1, 2, 1. No. 1, down. Rock, rock, up. Rock, rock, up. That's 1. I had to do about 50 of them motherfuckers. Now I'm 37 years old. I can still do push-ups. Anyway. So, he had jumped down our shit. When he came back, he's like, the next time I bring a female officer through here, you keep your eyes on her eyes. You do not look anywhere below her neck. And I was like, Drill Sergeant, I wasn't looking at her. I know you weren't looking at her. I wasn't talking to you. I was talking to Glasses. So he chose a particular part of Cruz's body and started calling him Glasses. Now, we didn't have to deal with that drill sergeant again because his platoon was like 2 doors down from our platoon. I think he was Charlie. But we was Bravo, excuse me. We was Bravo, Golf was next to us, and then there was one more, which was that way. And then, because there was four platoons where we were. Let me rephrase that. There were 4 companies where we are, because you have one company, and each company has 4 platoons. I was in 4th Platoon Bravo when this happened. And then when I got to Golf, I was in 2nd Platoon Golf, but I was only in Golf for 2 days because I wanted to kill a drill sergeant, which is how I managed to wind up doing the journaling as well. And then when I got to Delta, I was 2nd Platoon Delta. So anyway, moving on. We solved that issue. So when you were in the military, high-ranking officers, yes sir, yes ma'am. The only 2 genders did they fucking acknowledge. Yes sir, yes ma'am. That's it. They do not do the pronoun or the gender conformity shit. And if I'm hurting your feelings with this, I'm sorry. But this came across my TikTok. And I had to make this thing because I know for a fact that you can be flamboyant and you can live the alternative lifestyle. You know, don't ask, don't tell was still in effect when I was in the Army. But I don't really think they give a shit if you are gay or straight or transgender. I think what they give a fuck about is keeping your ass alive while you are in service of this country. And you pronoun enthusiasts need to understand something. When you're in the civilian world, pronouns mean something. When you hit that military, you are no longer a civilian. You are not here to play games. You are here to serve and protect between foreign and domestic terrorists. Your job is to defend the Constitution and everyone out's right to live by that shit. So with everybody who's going off of pronouns and all of that, we're here to defend you. But damn it, we don't always have to comply. Alright? I am not going to comply to pronouns. I am going to ask you your name. You are going to give me your name. I am going to respect you and call you by your name. My name is Echo Fang Greywolf, or James Williams Jr. I prefer Echo Fang Greywolf. But if you only can remember my name as James, then that's it. Now, here's the thing about pronouns. If I know your name and I know your face, I'm going to call you by your name and your face. If you are a male transitioning into a woman, I don't know that right off the bat. And it's not like I'm going to fucking ask you. I'm not literally going to look at a very pretty man who's transforming from a man to a female and say, hey, what's your pronouns? That shit is the last thing that comes to my mind. I follow a few transgender people on TikTok. I don't click on their profile to read their pronouns. I know their names. One Hawaiian woman that I follow, beautiful. Yeah, she used to be a man. Big fucking whoop. She's still beautiful. She's beautiful as fuck. You wouldn't know that she was a man if you met her. Straight up. You would not know. Her pronouns are she, her, hers. And she's transgender. If I met her in the street, I wouldn't fucking know. And I wouldn't fucking ask. And I hope I didn't bring up her name. But anyway, I follow her. I follow a transgender wrestler. I don't ask her pronouns. I don't give a fuck. She presenting as a her, she's a her. You know? But I'm also not going to be scanning your body to figure out what the fuck you identify as. If you are transgender, if you are a man like Ellen Page is becoming Ethan Page or whatever the fuck, and she's transgending, I don't know if she's going to go through operations or whatever. I kind of hope that she doesn't, but if she does, that's her choice. I have nothing against her. It's her life, it's her body. If she wants to do that, knock yourself the fuck out. It's not my place to pass judgment. It's my place to understand and respect it. Alright, so if she's going by Ethan Page now instead of Ellen Page, and I ever get the chance to work with her, she's gonna have to correct me quite a few fucking times. So Ellen/Ethan Page, whichever one you're going by, forgive me. You're going to correct me. You're going to correct me 10,000 times before it's over and done. Because I'm used to seeing you as Ellen Page. So you're going to have to correct me every time I think of Kitty Pryde. I'm going to think of you. So you're going to have to correct me. Please don't be mad at me. Don't take that shit wrong. It's not like I'm intentionally doing the shit. As I was making my way into this business, I've only known you as Ellen Page until recently. But I'm not going to judge you for what you choose to do. It's not my fucking place. But it is my place to respect you. And it's my place to tell everyone who's like pronoun efficient. You got to respect us people who don't fucking know. It's not that we're not trying. It's just that there's a limit of how much that you can put on somebody. You cannot force people to identify your pronouns. But you don't have to force people to give them respect. Alright? Because I'm going to respect you regardless. Unless you come at me with like some kind of half-breed shit, or if you come at me native suck, or black people suck, or, you know, you're not really one of us, you're a mutt and mixed and white. It's okay if I call myself a mutt. It's not okay if you call me a mutt. But if you come at me racist, regardless of your transitioning or whatever the fuck it is going on in the alphabet community, I'm going to come back at you hard. You know, simple as that. You come at me hard, I'm going to come at you hard. And they say go high when they go low. No, I'm just going to throw a fucking knee. Because you're going low, my knee's already there. I'm going to knee you dead in your fucking forehead, and if you die, you die. But there is a respect line. I'm willing to live on that respect line. I'm not going to go to extra extremities to find out what the fuck you identify as. I'm sorry. I'm not going to do it. I'm going to identify you as whatever name you tell me you are. If you are a man and your name is Shelly, nice to meet you, Shelly. That could be your fucking last name. I've met some dudes in the military with some fucked up ass feminine last names. So who the fuck am I to judge them? They like being called by their last name. Who the fuck don't? I like being called Grey Wolf. I love it. It's not my legal last name, but it is the last name that I've taken in honor of my native heritage. And I'm keeping it. Come hell or high water. Same thing with Echo, same thing with Fang. Let me show you what that means. The echoes of my ancestors strike like the fang of a gray wolf. Makes sense when you put it all together. Echo, Fang, Grey Wolf. There you go. Now, moving on. If you are a woman and your name is Stephen, congratulations. I actually work with a woman whose middle name is Stephen. Alright? Love her to death. She has kept me working. She has made sure that the boss has not fired me. So, I identify her by her name. She's an older woman than me. She's like a mom to me, but a very sexy mama. So, you know, I'm going to respect her. I'm not going to disrespect her. I'm not going to go through all that shit. But she's like me. She doesn't get the pronoun shit. I don't get the pronoun shit. I don't give a fuck if you want the truth. I really don't. I have no fucks to give on that. Not really. What I have to do is just make damn sure that I respect you, where you are in life, and treat you like the human being that you are. But I don't have to go out my way to try to identify your goddamn pronouns when you have a fucking name. And I'm sorry if I'm hurting anybody's feelings. This came from TikTok and the military. The military ain't gonna be sorry. The military might make you wish you were sorry you signed up, but as far as like you getting respect, you gonna earn that shit. But as far as the pronouns and all that shit, you hang that shit the fuck up. I'm sorry, you're in the military now. It's time to grow the fuck up. All that pronoun and shit, that shit not gonna hold water. And you go into the Marines, because this was about Marines. Army, we might be considered soft. Air Force, Navy, you know, we all might be considered soft compared to the Marines and the Navy SEALs. Pronouns ain't gonna mean shit. If you a Navy SEAL, you a Navy SEAL. If you a Marine, you a motherfucking Marine. It ain't gonna matter if you are the Marine that identifies as the kitchen cabinet, you still a motherfucking Marine. I understand how this shit works. That fucking pronoun conformity shit, it's not gonna happen. It's not gonna fucking happen. If this shit happens, I'm gonna be like the guy in the green beanie that I got the video from. You might as well take all your stars and stripes the fuck off and fling that shit into the ocean. Let it sink. Let it become part of the coral reef. Because there has to be a line somewhere. Which, like I said, in the civilian world, in the civilian world, and only in the civilian world, do your pronouns mean shit. That's it. You think the insurgents from another country that's gonna bust in your domicile or trying to unalive everybody when we go to war, you think they give a fuck if they shot a he, she, or they? No. If they throw a grenade, they blowing them all up. They don't give a fuck what they kill. And we're gonna be amongst those bodies. Now, if your body's blown all to hell, that's why they have the fucking dog tags. So they still will be able to identify you. And your dog tags are going to say your name, your blood type, your religion, and your social security number. I could be wrong. Hold on. I'm pretty sure my gender's not on this bitch. But I could definitely be wrong. But I'm not wrong. I am right. It has my name, my social security number, my blood, and religious preference, which I had no preference because I didn't know what Baptist was for them. They had like Presbyterian or some bullshit. I was like, you know what? Just put no religion. I believe in God, and God's gonna get me through this shit. That's it. So, your dog tags, depending on how long your name is, your last name is at the top, your official name and prefix, because I'm a junior, and then social security number, blood type, and religious belief. That's it. Pronouns and genders are not going to be on this bitch because you are a uniform. Period. You are a fucking uniform. When you sign up for the military, you become a uniform. Your gender and shit, that shit's gone. Your gender conformity, gone. And if I have hurt anybody's feelings with this, I am sorry. And the best thing I can tell you is to take that year, as I tell everybody, I don't have anything bad to say about the military. Not really. Except for they don't really treat you exceptionally great at certain places. But I will tell you, I'm glad I went. I wish I was still there. I wish I was young enough to stay in the military. I never left outside of a body bag because I found my true family members in the military. Motherfuckers didn't give a fuck. But I will tell you this, for the sake of all that is holy, you will be a uniform. If you are Army, you will be a soldier. If you are Army National Guard, you will be a soldier / nasty girl. If you are Navy, you will be a sailor. If you are Marines, you will be a Marine. It doesn't matter what you fucking identify as, you will be a fucking Marine first. That's it. You are a Marine. Period. If you are Navy, you are a sailor. If you are Air Force, you are an airman. May God help you if you're Coast Guard, because I don't know what the fuck they call you. May God help you if you're SpaceX, because I don't know what the fuck they call you. And I took 30 minutes of your time. But before I end this video, I will apologize again just to be on the safe side, because I have 215 people here that I love very much, and hopefully I'm teaching you something. Gender conformity is a thing in the civilian world. It is not going to fly in the military world. With all the problems the military has, there's been sexual assault in the military, there have been murders in the military, and all this shit's popping up on TikTok and beyond. Gender conformity and fucking pronouns and all that shit. The pronoun enthusiasts, if you're a pronoun enthusiast, I'm gonna beg you not to go to the military. I'm gonna beg you not to go to the military because from J1 and boot camp, your identity's gone. Whoever you were before you got there, that motherfucker's dead. They'll come back to life, but that motherfucker's dead. When you're sitting in those classes, they talk about sexual assault, battle buddy. They talk about how to make sure your money works, and this is specifically for men. As for men, they tell you don't go out and start fucking everything that moves because chicks like getting military money and they like getting caught up and getting pregnant by military men. Now, don't take that wrong, ladies. I'm sorry. This is just what they taught us. I don't know what they taught the women because for the most part in my classes, we didn't have any women after processing. After processing, the women went one way and we went the other. That was it, you know. So I'm only going to say this as lightly as possible. I'm sorry, women. If you're a lady here and you're following me, I'm sorry. This is exactly what they told us. Specifically, Drill Sergeant Fong Sina, who insulted women by calling them two-legged fish. I will not call a woman that, so I'm sorry again. But he said, do not go and see the first woman on your 36-hour break. Because if you get her pregnant, you're responsible for that baby. Because the military doesn't do adultery. And they don't do deadbeat dads or whatever the fuck it is. And they said if you get a person pregnant, you are responsible. If they prove that baby is yours, that baby's going to get a quarter of your check, if not half the fucking check. Which means the mother's going to get the bulk of the check. And you're going to get fucked. So be careful where you stick your dick. And that's exactly how they put it. Be careful where you stick your dick. They say if you are married and you cheat on your wife, you're done. You're getting a dishonorable discharge, you're fucking done. So do not cheat on your wife. Better yet, don't get married if you're going into the military. If you're already married and you're married inside the military, if both you serve and your husband serve, you're going to be okay. They do try to assign most married couples together. I could be wrong there, but they do try to assign most military married couples together. This way it prevents all kinds of fucked up shit from happening from like the 60s, 70s, and 80s when motherfuckers be cheating on their fucking husbands while their husbands are deployed with other soldiers from other units, because all the military bases, they have service family spots that they live in because the family can't live on the barracks, but there are homes on base that you can purchase while you're there and rent so that your family can live in that home. Alright? Hopefully that made some kind of fucking sense. But 9 times out of 10, if your wife is not in the military and you are in the military, you can get housing for your wife wherever you get deployed. Unless you are like deployed like somewhere like Afghanistan or some shit where they're battling out. You could probably have your wife posted in Germany or whatever. But they recommend that most people, if you're married and your wife or husband isn't in service, they recommend that they stay stateside. Alright? And it's mostly a safety concern as well as that shit. And I know that had nothing to do with this entire video, but I wanted to make sure I cleared that up because of the insults that I was taught with boot camp, with don't getting girls pregnant and two-legged fish and shit that Jill Sergeant Funkcina used to say. And again, I apologize for the two-legged fish commercial, but that's what he was teaching us. And I mean, we had to deal with this shit for 8 hours a day for 2 fucking weeks before we went down range. When we get down range, it got worse. And you're in class for another 2 weeks, probably 3 weeks. And after that, there was Claymore training, where they teach us how to crawl up the tripwires and disarm the tripwires. And then we got to see a Claymore blow a big fucking stacks of rocks up. You know, we had to get far enough away. Then there's grenade training. I got smoked for milking the grenade. That would be doing this shit. So there was some shit. But in all honesty, gender conformity and pronoun and all that shit not gonna fly, yo. That shit is not gonna fly. So if I've offended you with that, I am sorry. I am very sorry. I'm also going to tell you one more time. If you think that your pronouns and shit are gonna fly in the military, you should probably stay at home. I swear, you should probably stay at home. Now, if you get one of those high-ranking jobs, you know, you might get lucky. But I'm gonna be honest with you. While you're in BC, no, there's not gonna be any pronouns. You're gonna be a uniform. That's it. Now, you will be separated by gender. You will have the GORMs, the girls' barracks, and you will have the guys' barracks. That's it. If you come in there and you're gender neutral, if you're female, you're gonna be in that female barrack. Period. If you're male and you're gender neutral, you're gonna be in that male barrack. Because when they give you your physical, and they like grab your lower extremities or whatever and turn from side to side and make you duck walk and all that other bullshit, they can see with their eyes what your gender, whatever you were fucking born with. They can see that shit, you know, and that's where you're going. You know, they're gonna look at you if your outside presents female, but you are biologically or genetically a male. You're still going in that female barracks. You're not going in that male barracks. That's not gonna happen. If your outside is male and you genetically are female, you're going in that male barracks because your body says male. It's not gonna be about pronouns and it's gonna be about eyesight and what they see and what you present as. Which is why I'm really sorry that I'm making this video if it's offending anybody. Because this is what you're gonna face when you get there. They don't give a flying fuck about the civilian world and there being more than 1 or 2 different damn genders. What they see is what they get, and that's what you're going to be assigned as. If you are female changing into male, and you haven't had that operation before you get into the military, your ass is female. If you are male transitioning into female, and you haven't had that operation, until after you get out the military. If you get it before you go in, they're going to put you as female. You're going to go right over there. If you had the whole operation downstairs, upstairs, you're going to the female barracks. If you're male and you're transferring from female to male and it's complete and you have a twig and berries now instead of the vast, beautiful cave that used to be there, you're going to be in the male barracks. But as far as intersex and all that shit, I don't think they have a place for you. I'm not going to say that you're not welcomed, but whatever your body presents is like where you're going. I don't know any records of any hermaphrodites or anybody joining the military. And 9 times out of 10, a hermaphrodite will probably have a penis, so you will probably wind up in the male barracks. Now I don't know, because I'm not a hermaphrodite or intersex. I don't know the exact term, so I apologize, because I'm pretty sure I'm fucking that up. But whatever the term is, you're going into whatever barracks the doctor will probably let them know. Now, if you have both, you might not even be able to serve. I don't really know how that shit works. I'm sorry. This is the only thing I can give you, because I can't give you what I don't know. I don't know that if you are intersex, which means you have both, which sounds a whole lot better than me saying hermaphrodite, so I'm sorry for the hermaphrodite thing. But if you have both, I don't know what the fuck the military doctors are going to do. Because you're going to get examined before when you sign up and after you do your ass wrap and all that shit. Once you get down to MEMS, because MEMS here in Virginia is at Fort Lee. Once you get down there and they give you the physical, all the nasty shit that you're going to see and experience or whatever, peeing in front of people, they're gonna assign you something. So I mean, if you have both genders, I don't know how that shit's gonna work. If you're intersex, I don't know if you can pee standing and sitting or whatever, because I'm not intersex. So, but whatever you can do when they do the physical shit, they're gonna assign you, and they're gonna go talk to whoever the fuck they have to talk to, and their high-ranking official. They're gonna put you somewhere, and I'm pretty sure I'm butchering this, so I am sorry. And we're past the 30-minute mark, but I'm just letting you guys know. It's not sunshines and rainbows. When you sign up, you're a uniform. I'm sorry. You are a uniform. If this has hurt your feelings or pissed you off in any way, shape, or form, I apologize profusely. That being said, I'm Echo Fang Grey Wolf. I hope I touched you something, and I'm pretty sure I'm probably going to get some shit from some people, and for that, I'm sorry. I am really, really sorry. I am not here to make you feel less than human. I am not here to insult you. I am not here to put you down. I am here to inform you. I'm here to hopefully give knowledge and get knowledge. But the military is not the place to play with pronouns and shit. They are not going to follow those rules. I'm sorry. That's some shit in the real world, the civilian world. That's some shit we're going to follow out here. Not all of us. I will attempt, but I'm going to get it wrong every time. You're just going to be mad. That's just the way it is. But most of the time, I'm going to tell you right now, once you hit the military, yeah, gender conformity, that's just probably not going to fly too far in there. You will be sir or ma'am, and you will address the captains and the lieutenants as sir or ma'am, and all the other lower officers you will address by the title of that officer. First sergeant, drill sergeant, staff sergeant. You are going to address them according to their rank, and you can add their name at the end of it, but you are going to address them as simple as that. If I ever had to ask Drill Sergeant Robbins a question, it was, Drill Sergeant Robbins, can I speak to you? Please, Drill Sergeant. Sometimes it was, Drill Sergeant Robbins, can I speak to you, Drill Sergeant Robbins? Alright? That's how they tell us to speak. They will give you proper mouth-to-mouth etiquette. Alright? You deal with the cadre officer, you will do the same. Cadre officer such and such, whatever their last name is, that's how you're going to address them. If you think for a New York minute you're going to address them as cadre officer kitchen cabinet, they'll probably slap you with a kitchen cabinet. That being said, I'm Echo Fang Grey Wolf. I am sorry that I hurt anybody's feelings in this video. This is 30, 40 some odd minutes of your life you can't get back. And in closing, I want to tell you this. If you're thinking about going to the military and you're a pronoun enthusiast, sleep on that shit for a year. Start asking veterans questions. Start asking recruiters questions. Start asking all kinds of questions. Because you're not going to learn from some idiot like me, because I can only give you what I know. You will learn from asking veterans in your family, Go to recruiting offices, ask them this shit, because I could be wrong. And if I am, and I'm sorry. But I'm pretty sure that gender conformancy and pronoun shit's not gonna fly in the military. So you better get used to being called whatever the fuck you were born by. That being said, I apologize profusely for hurting your feelings. And this is Kung Fu Halfling number 2. Be seeing you. I'm Echo Fang Grey Wolf.